that I've gotten proficient, or as proficient as I can get at CrossFit, I feel like I'm starting to crest that hill now, and
Okay.
get, maybe I'm not hitting as many PRs as I was before, or I'm just simply slowing down because of age. I don't know. When did you start CrossFit? How long have you been doing it?
Well, I'm sort of hanging on to a bit of hope there then, because I only started CrossFit 4 years ago when I was about 49, almost 50.
Okay.
I had been in fitness before. I'd been an athlete before, but not in the strength arena. I was a triathlete. So I don't know though. I think there may be a bit of a slowdown factor due to age. I'm hoping not, because I think maybe I've got a good 6 more years in me. But I think there is that learning curve where you sort of you suck at everything. I mean, I still suck at everything, and I think you'll suck at everything for a long time. But I think the progression and the PRs come from just learning better technique, or learning how to pace yourself a bit better in a new sport, or in a new strength endeavor. So I think there's still a little way to go. I don't know if 10 years is really it.
How long were you a triathlete?
Oh gosh, I started triathlon in my mid-20s, so a long time. It was the early years of the sport, and I started, like many people do, with the short distance, and then I went all the way up to Ironman triathlete. So
are you still doing that at all, or are you done with it?
No, I'm a true CrossFitter. I don't run unless I have to. No, I stopped the Ironman distance when I had my first daughter 17 years ago. And it's not a very time efficient sport. And the thought with CrossFit was, I can do everything in 45 minutes to an hour. So, the switch happened much later after having kids, but I think it's a much better activity for people who have more demands in their life.
How did you find it? Like, how did you stumble across CrossFit? Were you drug in like the rest of us, or did you seek it out?
I was dragged in, actually. I was just plugging along, doing the swimming, biking, and running on my own, so not doing triathlon. And it was actually my husband who is he's one of those early adopter types. When the Whoop sort of came out, he got on that. When the first iPhone was released, he got on that. So he heard about this thing called CrossFit, and he thought, well, that sounds a little bit crazy, sounds a bit fun. I'm going to give it a try. And I resisted for quite some time, actually. I was not interested in barbell heavy stuff. I saw the stuff on TV. I was thinking, there's no way. That's not for me. And then I got bored of everything else. So, and he was buying all the equipment, so I thought I might as well use it.
What was your hesitancy with the barbells?
I'll be honest, this is going to sound terrible given what I put out there on Instagram, but I was a little afraid of I wasn't afraid. I was thinking this is more for men. It sounds ridiculous. It's more for men. There's a lot of grunting. There's a lot of that kind of gym bro feel to it from the videos that I had seen anyway. And I hated that stuff. It was the main reason that I avoided actually going to the gym. I'd never really lifted before. I didn't know, I just wasn't really into it. So I didn't like that culture of sweat, grime, heavy and iron and black walls and all of that sort of stuff. So I wasn't drawn to it at all.
And was your husband training at an affiliate or at home?
So I think, if I remember correctly, he did go to a couple of classes here in Toronto, and we had some minimal equipment in our basement, and he got himself onto CompTrain. He thought, I'm just gonna, do the pay your whatever it was at the time, $39.99. I'm gonna do, have a look at the leaderboard, see where I can get on there. And he started doing some of the WODs there, and I just basically signed into his account and started trying some of the workouts too. And And I started to find myself quite enjoying it. I was still very intimidated by the barbells though. I was doing a lot of the dumbbell work, but the barbell stuff, it was a little beyond me, a bit intimidating.
So what did it take to get you past that?
Watching some of the CrossFit games, watching some of the women on the CrossFit games, YouTube videos, seeing what they could actually do and realizing that, you know, the age group watching, and by the women, I mean the age group women, the women who were in their 40s and beyond. And I thought, well, you know, this sport hasn't been around for that long. They must have just learnt this themselves at a, you know, reasonably advanced age. So if they can do it, maybe I should give it a try. And then I went to a class. I actually went to a class at a local affiliate, which I still go to once a week here. And I think it was the challenge of trying to beat something new, trying to tackle something new and learn it, because that's what I really love. I love to try and overcome something or learn something new that I've never done before. So that's where it all started.
It's an interesting experience for me. I've said that for a while, that I feel part of CrossFit's one of the biggest hurdles they have in front of them is breaking that mindset that CrossFit is dangerous, that it's for men, that the barbell's scary, women are going to get bulky, like all that stuff. And, you know, a lot of it's propagated by the top 1% of CrossFitters that make the games. When you see that, and, you know, I mean this with all due respect to them, because they're all just completely amazing athletes and people, that, you know, you watch it and you just think, man, either I can't do that, or it's scary, or man, look how bulky the women are, which they're not, by the way, but it's an initial thought for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then you go to an affiliate and you get a much different experience. And it ends up being it's a lot of people our age, you know, and you know, a lot of, you know, I'm very average. There's a lot of very average people running around the affiliate, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe this is about health, not about, you know, how much weight you can put on the barbell. And it's a much different thing. And I think if they could push that out more, so more people could see it, I think they could attract and help, you know, grow our master segment a little faster, personally.
Absolutely. But by the way, now when I look at the top women at the games, whether it's the elites or the age groupers, that's actually very motivating to me. I've changed the way that I see what I want my body, or if, you know, that I think women should see their bodies as. You know, when you look at people like Laura Horvath and, you know, Daniel Spiegel or whoever it is, they're all different shapes. They're all obviously very strong, but I actually aspire to that. But to your point of making it more accessible to the average person, I think that is coming. I think it is getting there. Obviously they could do a better job of pushing more imagery of the sort of older age groups, or the teens even, out there, to show people what there is in CrossFit. The adaptive divisions are some of the most motivating pieces of footage you'll ever see. You know, people in wheelchairs doing legless rope climbs. It's incredible. And it's something that I try to educate people on. I mean, I'm not